Hello everyone, I am Shalaka from STEMBirds. Welcome to Melton City Council Learning Directories. We are going to learn Scratch block programming language in our coding and programming sessions. So what is computer programming? You might have heard this word before. So in simple language, I can say programming means writing step-by-step instructions to tell the computer what to do. Okay. And Scratch is a block programming language that we are going to learn. You can go to scratch.mit.edu and you can check. You can create games on it. We can create games, animations, music, different projects with Scratch. Okay. And we are going to learn Scratch from today. Today it's our first introduction session. Hello everyone. Good morning. My name is Shalaka and today we are going to learn about Scratch block programming. Okay guys, so when we say programming, what does that mean? So programming is writing step-by-step instructions to tell the computer what to do. Okay, and with the programming, when we learn programming, we can make games, stories, animations, and lot of different things. We can build web pages, we can do softwares and other things as well. Yeah. So today we are going to start learning about Scratch. Scratch is a block programming language. Okay, you can see here, you can see on the screen, this is a Scratch desktop. So this Scratch desktop application you can download from scratch.mit.edu website. You can open your Google Chrome or any web browser and in the address bar you can type scratch.mit.edu and then you can download it, or here online you can create Scratch programs. Okay, so I have downloaded Scratch desktop on the laptop, and when you open Scratch desktop application it will look like this. Here on the right side you can see there is a white area. This is called as stage. Okay, then you can see there is one button, green flag and stop button. So this green flag is go or play button and this is a stop button. Okay, you can see there is a cat. So cat is one of the main character into Scratch. So any character that we add when we are making game or story or animation, we are going to call that character as a sprite. You can see here. Okay, and you can give any name to your sprite. So here instead of sprite 1, I can write down the name of this cat as Kitty. So you can type it and then press enter. And now you can see the cat name is Kitty over here. So this sprite name is Kitty over here. Here you can see there are two different buttons over here. So first button, which looks like a cat face, if you move your cursor there, the mouse pointer there, it shows as choose a sprite. If you click on it, then it will open sprite library. You can see there are a lot of different things here in the sprite library. You can scroll down and you can see there are n number of objects here. There are animal, people, and there are different buttons at the top. So if I click on animals, it will show me all the animals which are available here in the sprite library. If I click on people, it will show me different people from the sprite library, fantasy, dance. Okay, and if you want to get any of these sprite into your program, you can simply click on it and then, so for example, this ladybug, I will click on it and you can see this ladybug will get added here on the stage. Okay, and you can move it wherever you want. If you want to get another, again click on sprite library button and then you can add another character. If you want few more, you can add few more. So here with the sprite library, with this button, if you click on this button, it will take you to the sprite library, and from sprite library you can add as many sprites as you want in your game. Okay, so there are 4 different ways with which you can add sprite into your game. So first way is adding sprite from the sprite library. The next button here you can see brush, it looks like a brush and it's a paint button. If you click on it, it will open one paint area here on the left side, and here there is a paint tools. Okay, so if I click on this square, then here you can choose a color. You can choose any of your favorite color. Okay, you can choose the different shades of that color to make it dark, light, and then outline. I'm going to draw one square, so for that I will choose this color and I will choose outline color. So you can choose any color for the outline, but for now I will make the brightness to 0 to make it black. Here this number 4, it represents the thickness of the outline. So okay, let's choose 5 from there. And then how to draw square? Click and then drag your mouse to draw a nice square. Okay, and then you can move it and put it at the center. Okay. Click outside, and then you can see this square has been added onto your stage over here. And here you can see the name of the square as a sprite1. So here you can write down its name. So whenever you draw your own sprite, make sure you write down the proper name for your sprite. I will just write down square. Okay, we can add on our name as well as a sprite. So again, click on brush, and here you can see there is a T for text. So if I click here, I can choose a color. I can choose any color, and then you can choose a font for the text that you wish to write. Then click and then type. Okay, and then click outside, and if you wish you can make it bigger like this or smaller. Click on the points on this rectangle, and then you can move it. You can put it at the center or on the top of your screen, and you can see your sprite here on the stage like this. Okay, again, if you don't want to draw, if you don't want to choose a sprite from library, then you can download any image from Google and then you can upload it here. Okay, we will learn about uploading images later in our later classes. Okay, so there are different ways with which you can add sprite in your stories. Okay, now here you can see there are 3 tabs. Costume. So what is a costume? So costumes is a different looks of your sprite. Okay, here there is a sound tab. As of now there is a pop sound, you can see here. If you click on it, you can hear pop sound. And here choose a sound. So here if you click on it, it will take you to the sound library. There are a lot of different sounds. So you can use any of these sounds to add in your story. For example, if I click on birthday, if I type birthday here, I can click on it so that it will get added in the list. And then I can go to code. So here in the code tab, you can see there are block palettes over here on the left side. We are going to see about these block palettes later. First, let's see how we can add sprites. Okay, I will write down the name of the sprite as Stembirds. Okay, now you can see I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sprites on this stage. Okay, and I can see the sprite list here. Okay, and this stage still has a white background. So any background that we are going to add in stage or in Scratch here is called as backdrop. And we also have a backdrop library here. So if you click on this blue color button, click on it, and then you can see there are a lot of different pictures here. So you can choose any favorite picture or which will be suitable for your game. You can choose that picture and then you can add it. Okay, so to start with, I will add this blue sky background. So just click on it, and that picture will get added as a background for your stage. Okay, so background is called as backdrop in Scratch. Okay, also you can draw your own. As we have drawn the sprites, similarly you can draw the backdrop as well. So if you click on the brush, you can draw your own backdrop picture over here. And here you can see there are different backdrops. You can choose your suitable backdrop or you can add your own backdrop. So for now I will keep this blue sky backdrop. Now let's learn about the code. So here you can see there are different block palettes. Okay, I will click on the cat here. Yeah, now see. So these circle buttons that you can see here, those are called as block palettes. So first if I click on motion, then I can see all the blocks, all these blue blocks are related to motion or the movement of your sprite. Okay, all these blocks are related to movement of your sprite. Then if I click on looks button, looks palette, then there are different blocks which are related to looks of your sprite. In the sound, there are sound blocks. We can use them to add background sounds or the character sound into our game. Yeah, similarly events. So in the events you can see these blocks are little bit different than other blocks. In the other block palettes you can see these blocks are kind of a rectangle blocks, and in events these blocks they look like a hat. That's why these blocks are called as hat blocks. Okay, because one of these blocks will always go on top of your script. Okay, so that's why these blocks are called as hat blocks. In the control palette we have got a blocks which will control the flow of your program. Okay, so there are loop blocks, there is a wait statement, conditional statements, if then else, wait until. Yeah, then there are some blocks with which we can create the clones of the sprite. Yeah, then next if you click here, then there is a sensing palette. In the sensing palette we have got different blocks. Operators, we have got math operations blocks here with which you can do some maths here. Variables, we can create our own variable that we will use in our program. And in the my blocks you can make your own blocks, just like we make our own functions into programming. Yeah, we will learn about these my blocks as well. And now you can see here there is one button here as add extension. So apart from these basic block palettes you can add few more functionalities in your game. So for that, if you click on this add extension, you can see there are different extensions: music, pen palette, video sensing, text to speech. You can translate the languages. And other few blocks are related to Lego Mindstorm, Microbit. Yeah. So generally we use this pen palette, video sensing palette in our games. Okay. Those things we will learn later. So I will click on back button here. So to start with, let's to have some bit more fun or to get familiarized with the Scratch. Let's make one game. Or not game, we'll say let's make one animation. As I said, in computer programming you can do whatever you want. Means you can do some animations, you can make your own stories, games. Okay, so let's learn one by one how to do it. So I will make some funny patterns with this ladybug sprite. Okay, and so for that I will delete these other sprites. So how to delete the sprites? I will click on this cat, and can you see the X button here? So click on X. Again click on balloon. X. Okay, so this is how you can delete your sprites. Okay, one more thing, you can see there are few characteristics here. So these are some characteristics or the parameter of your sprite. So here you can write down the name of your sprite. Then here this numbers, it shows you the X position and Y position, okay, of the sprite on the stage. So what is X position? X position is the horizontal position of your sprite, and Y position is the vertical position of your sprite on the stage. And these X and Y coordinates together make the particular position of the sprite on the stage. Okay, you can observe when I'm moving the ladybug, and I'm putting it on some other spot, the numbers are changing. Okay, you can see that. So this is about the X and Y position of a sprite. Then next, this is a show and hide. So currently it is showing. If you click on hide button, it will hide your sprite. Click on show button. Here next is 100, size is 100, so 100 is 100%. Okay, so if you want to make your sprite smaller, you can write some smaller number, for example 50. Enter. You can see the sprite is now smaller. If you add some bigger number than 100, then it will make it big. Okay, so you can adjust the size of your sprite here as per your requirement. So for my this game I will put it as 70. Yeah, okay, perfect. Now this direction means where the sprite is facing. So currently you can see, if I move this arrow, if I rotate it, you can see the sprite is rotating. Okay, so you can make it face in any direction, but by default it will be 90, which is right side. When I say point in direction 90, it is right side. If I say point in direction minus 90, it's a left side. If I say point in direction 0, it will be up. If I say point in direction 0, it will be down. Okay, it's like that. And here you can see there are 3 different buttons over here. So first button is all around. So this is about the rotations of your sprite. By default it will be all around, but if you want to make your sprite rotate in only left or a right direction, then you can click on this button, which is a left and right rotation style. Next button, it's a do not rotate. So if you don't want to rotate your sprite, you can click on this button. But for now I will keep it all around. Now let's start learning about Scratch and how to get the block palettes to program your sprite. Okay, so you can see here there is one ladybug. So I have got this ladybug from sprite library. You can see how to get it. Click here on choose a sprite. Okay, then you can click on this animals. Scroll down a little bit further and you can find ladybug over here. So you can click on it, so you can add ladybug as your sprite. Okay, you can choose any your favorite sprite, that is fine. So for this project you can choose some colorful sprite because it will look very nice in this program. For this ladybug, I will do the size as 70%, yeah, to make it a bit smaller. If you wish, you can add some backdrop. So click here on choose a backdrop. Now I'm clicking on space. Yeah, I will choose this stars backdrop. So click on it. You can see ladybug look nice on the stars backdrop. Okay, now let's make some colorful pattern with this ladybug. So go to events palette, click on events, get the first block when green flag is clicked. So click on the block, drag it and put it here in the script area. After that, go to control palette and get a forever loop. Attach it here. You can see the shadow, and when you see this shadow, you can drop it. Okay, you can see these blocks, they will fit to each other just like a Lego pieces. Okay, now I'm going to click on looks palette. In the looks palette, scroll down a little bit further. You can see the block change color effect by 25. Click on it, drag it and put it inside forever. Now if I click on green flag, you can see ladybug is changing color. It looks nice, isn't it? So what is happening here? Forever change color. So it will keep on doing it. It will keep on repeating the action of changing color. Now again I will click on stop button. Yeah. Now go to motion palette. From motion palette, I will get this block. Go to random position. Click on it, drag it and put it inside forever. And here instead of random position, choose mouse pointer. Yeah. Now click on green flag and now what will happen? Ladybug is changing color and at the same time it is moving with the mouse pointer. If I move the mouse cursor pointer, it will follow that. You can see. Okay. Now again I will click on stop button. Let's add some nice pattern. So here on the left side bottom, you can see there is blue color button, which is add extension. If you click on it, it will open the different extensions page. From here, I will click pen palette. I will choose pen palette. So you can see pen palette is added here. into palette list, and you can see these green color blocks over here. From this, I will choose stamp block, drag it and attach it here, and click on green flag. Look at that. It's cool, isn't it? So what is happening here? So because of the forever loop, it is changing color, it is moving with the mouse pointer, and at the same time it is stamping the sprite everywhere. Okay, it looks nice, isn't it? So guys, you can do this. You can choose any other sprite and you can write the same program and you can check, and it will make a very nice patterns. Okay, and suppose if you want to delete this drawing, or if you want to erase that, you can simply get this block, erase all, drag it and put it above forever loop here. And now, so now every time if I click on green flag, it will erase the drawing first, and then it will, you can start drawing again like this. Okay, so with computer programming you can do such nice patterns and it will look really nice, and you can use these concepts when you are making big games. So this is the first project, so let's save it. How to save your game? Click on file and then click on save to your computer, and here you can write down file name, for example stamp pattern. Yeah, write down the name as stamp pattern. You can see the file will get saved as that file name .sb3. Save button. Click on yes. Okay, and now you can go to new project, so click on file and new. Then it will ask you to whether you want to replace the content of the current project. Say yes, because already we have saved it, so click on OK button. Yeah, and now we are ready with the new page to make another game. Now we are going to make one game which is a maze game. You can open your Scratch. We have learned already few things. This is called as a sprite. Any character or we add in our game is called as a sprite. Here there is a backdrop. So we are going to add backdrop. We are going to draw it in our game today. To start with, let's make this cat a little bit smaller. So instead of 100, I will write 70. Yeah, so 70%. Okay. So now the idea of game is, so there is going to be a maze. Okay, and the cat has to walk from one point to the another point. Okay, and while walking through this maze, if cat touches some particular color, it has to go back to starting position. Okay, so let's see how we are going to make this game. So first I am going to draw backdrop. So for that we need to click here on the backdrop, then move your pointer here and then click on this paint brush. Click on paint. So here we are going to paint backdrop. So first I am going to click on this square here, then choose any one color. For example, I am choosing this blue color. Okay, and then after that click and drag. We are going to draw few rectangles, maybe 4 or 5 rectangles. We can have a simple maze. Okay, now I am going to click on this circle, then choose green color, yeah, and click and drag your mouse so that you can draw a nice green circle over here. Okay, so it is going to be a starting point of a maze. Now I will choose a color red and then draw another red circle here at the bottom right side corner. Place it properly. So whenever you are drawing stuff, you can see it here on the stage. It's okay if your rectangles or circles have a outline. It's okay if outline is there. If you don't want, you can remove this outline. Okay. Now click on code. We are ready with our backdrop. Click on cat. So now idea of this game is the cat will start from this green circle. It has to walk through this maze. While walking, if it touches red color, if it touches this blue color, then it has to go back to starting position, which is this. Okay. Now let's see how we are going to make cat walk. Guys, you can see on our keyboard on the right side there are 4 arrow keys. Left arrow, right arrow, up arrow and down arrow. We are going to use these keys to program our cat to walk. Okay, let's see how to do it. So I'm clicking on events, then get the block when space key pressed. Here you can observe, if I click on this arrow over here, you can see there are a lot of different keys which are available on the keyboard, and we can use these keys to program our sprite, or to give the, we can use any of these keys for programming. So in our today's game we are going to use these arrow keys. So first I'm going to choose right arrow. So it says when right arrow key pressed. Now when right arrow key pressed, I want cat to walk to right side. Okay, to make sure that, go to motion palette and get the block point in direction 90. Attach it here. If you click here on the 90, you can see this arrow is pointing to right side. So point in direction 90 means the character will face to right side. Okay, just like it is doing now. Then move 10 steps because it has to move. Okay, now if I press right arrow on my keyboard, you can see cat is moving to right side, and you can see your code is highlighted with the yellow outline. Can you see that? There is a yellow outline around your blocks. So when your code is running, you can see it is highlighted with the yellow line, and I can see the cat is moving to right side. But still it doesn't look like it is walking. How to make it walk, or how to make it look like it is walking? So guys, you can see if I click here on the costume, I can see there are 2 different costumes for cat. Yeah, and if I click on them continuously, if I change costume from costume 1 to costume 2 and then again back to 1, you can see it looks like cat is walking. Yes, so now this action we will do it into programming. Again go back to code, click on looks palette and get the next costume block and attach it here. So every time I press right arrow key, cat will change its costume, and now it looks like it is walking. Yes, yeah. Now similarly let's do it for left arrow key. So when left arrow key pressed, it has to face to left side and it has to walk. So instead of writing this whole code again and again, what I will do, I will simply duplicate all these blocks. How to duplicate? Move your cursor here, right click and then duplicate. Attach it, get it and put it here in the empty area. Now here after duplicating, we need to make a necessary changes. So here instead of right arrow, change it to left arrow and point in direction -90. Okay, so -90 means left side. So your character will face to left side. Yeah. Now if I press left arrow key, oh look at that, cat is facing left side, it is walking to left side, but it is upside down. Why? Because of the rotation style. Okay, so there are 3 different rotation styles of your character or your sprite. You can see the first button is all around, next is left right, and third is no rotation. So in our game we want cat to face left and right side only, so I will choose this, I will click on this button, and now cat won't go upside down. Okay, so now you can see, yes, it is walking to left side and right side. Okay, so similarly let's do it for up and down arrow. So what I will do, right click, duplicate again, put it here. When up arrow key pressed, now point in direction up. So as we are saying point in direction up, it will walk upside, you can see. So if I move cat here, and if I press up arrow key, you can see cat is going up, but it is not facing up because of this button, because we have clicked here rotation style. So now because of the rotation style is left and right only, cat will face either left or right side only. It won't face up or down side. Okay. So that's why this is important to set the rotation style to left and right. Okay. Now let's do it for down arrow. So right click, duplicate, put it there, then choose down arrow, and this time point in direction 180. So change this to, so you can either change this arrow to 180 like this, you can either change this arrow to downside, or you can simply write down 180 over here. Anything is fine. And now you can see cat is going left, right, up and down, yeah, with the arrow keys. So now cat is ready to walk. Okay. Now let's do our main program. So let's arrange our script area properly so that we can have a space to write down our further program. Okay. So let me just scroll down. Now, so when we make any game, so it is always important to set the starting position of a sprite. What does that mean? Means when you click on green flag, to start your game, your sprite should be at some particular position. Okay. When you click on play button, it should start. There should be some starting point. Okay. So this is called a starting position. So what I'm going to do, so I will just move and drag this cat on the green circle like this, and then for that position there will be one x coordinate and there will be one y coordinate. Okay, you can see these numbers over here, and these numbers or this position I will automatically get in this block, which is go to x and y. So for now I no need to worry about what are these numbers, but you can check the x will be some negative number because it is on the left side of the x and y axis, and y will be some positive number because it is on up. Okay, I will just explain you what is x and y coordinate. So here this stage in Scratch is divided by x axis, which is horizontal axis, and y axis, which is vertical axis. Okay, and this center here x0 y0 is the center position or the origin of x and y coordinate system. Okay, so this x equal to 0 and y equal to 0, these numbers are called as coordinates. So whatever your sprite is, whatever the position of your sprite, it is defined by x position and y position. So x is horizontal position of your sprite and y is a vertical position of your sprite. Okay, so here you can see. So if I am putting cat here, so x coordinate is 104 and y coordinate is 100, because x is here 104 and y 100. Similarly, if you put it in some other thing, you can see the numbers are changing. Okay, so this stage is divided by x and y coordinates, and the position of your sprite is defined by x and y coordinates. Okay, so okay, I will change our backdrop to our maze backdrop. So how to change it? Click here on the backdrop, again click here on the backdrops at the top and choose maze backdrop. Okay, now again click on our sprite, click on code. Yeah, so here when green flag is clicked, go to x minus 199, y 139. So this position will define cat's position on the stage, which is this position over here. Okay, yeah, so suppose if your cat is here, and now if I click on green flag, it will always go to that position, because when green flag is clicked, go to here. So this is how I am setting the starting position of a sprite. Okay, now so now we know that cat is ready to walk, and now let's add condition that if touching this blue color, then go back to starting position. Okay, and this condition should be valid always in your game. That's why we need to use forever loop. So get the forever loop, because this condition is valid or should be true always. So yeah, so get a forever loop from control palette, attach it here. These buttons are zoom in and zoom out button. So this is zoom in and zoom out for your script area. Now get if condition, if then, attach it here. So if then and if then else, these are two conditional statements here. Okay, so yeah, so forever, if, then. So now here you can see the diamond area. So there we are going to put the condition. So go to sensing palette. From there, get the second block, touching color, drag it and put it here. So when you are putting it, make the starting point of your block onto the diamond area of if, and now you can see it is highlighted with the white color. When you see the white color, drop it. Okay, so it will fit there. So if touching color, so now we want to get this blue color in our block. So how to get the exact shade? Click on it, and then you can see this button over here. So click on it and then move your cursor and choose your blue color. Okay, and now you can say this exact blue color, exact shade of that color is added over here. Okay, so if touching color blue, go back to starting position. So now what is the starting position? We know that this block defines the starting position of a sprite. So I will simply get the go to block, and I will make sure the x coordinate and y coordinate are exactly same as of this block. Okay, so go to starting position, and to make this game bit more interesting, we will add some sound, so that we will come to know that cat has touched the blue block. Get the sound palette, sound block, play sound meow, attach it here. Okay, now let's check. So now if I click on green flag and if I make cat walk, it will quickly go to starting position. Okay, now let's see. So now our condition is working. Cat is walking, it can walk through the maze, and if it is touching blue color, it is going to starting position. Yeah, and now the end part, that if cat manage to reach to red circle. So for that, let's see. So we will write down the condition as if touching red color, then say you won, and let's play some sound, clapping sound or cheer sound. Okay, so for that, let's write down the last part of the game. When green flag clicked, get another when green flag clicked block, go to control palette. From control palette, get the block wait until, drag it and attach it here. So wait until touching color red. So again go to sensing palette, get the block touching color, drag it and attach it here. Now click on the color, click on this button to pick color, and then click on the red color. Okay, so you can see the exact red color will be added here. Now wait until touching color red, and once it's done, get the say block, attach it here and write down U1. Yeah, and let's add some sound. So here you can see there is only meow sound, but we have a sound library. So click on the sounds tab, then click on this button to choose a sound. You can see there are different sounds, but I will, yeah. Yeah, so choose it. You can see the sound is added here in the sound list. Go back to code, and if you add that sound there, you can see it here in the blocks. Okay, so get the block, play sound chair until done, and attach it here. Now let's check. Yeah, now if I click on green flag, Okay, so now this game is ready to play. So I will make it a full screen. You can see there is a button here. The arrows are going outwards. So it's a full screen mode. So click on that button and now you are ready to play your game. So click and this maze is so as soon as cat touches red color, it will say you won and it will play cheer sound. Yeah. Okay. So guys, this is the basic sample game. You can make the maze bit more complicated. You can add few more things in it, and based on the color coding, based on this, as we have done here, the coding with the based on the colors, you can add few more colors and you can make some similar game. Okay. I hope you like this game and I'm sure you are going to try it now. Thank you everyone for watching this video. So we have covered the introduction part and the maze game. If you want to learn more about the coding and the robotics, you can definitely go to www.stembirds.com.au. We have a variety of robotics courses as well as the coding courses. You can enroll for term 3. For learning other things, you can definitely go to Milton City Council Learning Directories.